You ever rewatch a childhood favorite and realize, oh no, this wasn't for kids at all? I'm not talking about Jessica Rabbit. I mean the subtext. The big noir, red line hiding, culture exploiting subtext. Who Framed Roger Rabbit isn't just a love letter to animation. It's a love letter to a world that systematically bulldozed over anyone it didn't want to hear sing. This movie is about the entertainment industry chewing up minority performers and the government paving over their neighborhoods in the name of progress.
The best part is, they work for peanuts.
Let's start with the obvious. Toons, they're stand-ins. They're not just gags with googly eyes. They represent entertainers, specifically Black, Jewish, and immigrant performers whose talents built American pop culture, but who were rarely allowed to benefit from it. The Toons are segregated into Toontown. They don't get to live among the humans. They're boxed off, exploited for laughs. Sound familiar? Because this is jazz history. This is vaudeville. This is minstrelsy. It's what happened to Black performers, Asian dancers, and Jewish comics. Co-opted, commodified, and controlled.
Does anybody understand what this duck is saying?
They perform in clubs they can't own for crowds they can't join. They're hyper-talented, hyper-visible, and hyper-disposable. Roger Rabbit, he's a cartoon step and fetch it. He's lovable, wild, over the top, and when he steps out of line, he's hunted like vermin. It ain't just Doom, it's gentrification. Doom doesn't just hate tunes. He wants to pave over Toontown, literally, for a freeway.
My God, it'll be beautiful.
Sound ridiculous? Welcome to 1950s Los Angeles. What happened to Toontown is what happened to entire minority neighborhoods. Whole communities, Black, Chicano, Asian American, were wiped out under eminent domain. Freeways were a weapon, a legal one. They carved up LA like a Thanksgiving turkey and said, sorry, progress. The Toons didn't sell their land. They weren't even asked. That's the point. Doom's plan is dressed up in the language of progress, but it's destruction. Same kind of destruction that bulldozed South Central and flattened Chavez Ravine. The Maroon Cartoon Studio, it's a stand-in for every Hollywood exec who built empires off the back of underpaid, undervalued talent. The Toons work non-stop. They don't get residuals. They're used like props. And the moment they get difficult, canceled. That ain't just a joke. That's showbiz. That's what happened to black and white stars when studios went to color, to old vaudeville comics, to jazz legends. Used, forgotten, replaced.
Long time no see.
What are you doing here?
Work's been kind of slow since cartoons went to color. But I still got it, Eddie. Boop, boop, be-doo.
Yeah, you still got it.
And Roger? He's the everyman entertainer. The Black performer told to smile through pain. The queer actor told to tone it down. The immigrant comic told he's too ethnic. He lives for laughs, and it nearly kills him.
What could have possibly happened to you to turn you into such a sourpuss?
You want to know? I'll tell you. The Toon killed my brother.
A tune? No.
Now let's talk about Eddie. He's jaded, bitter, a relic of a time before tunes got too loud, and he blames the tunes for what happened to him, just like a lot of folks blamed entertainers of color for ruining the old culture. But Eddie's arc is learning that these performers, these tunes, aren't his enemy. The system is. Doom is. The freeway is. The industry that feeds on dreams and spits out bodies is. And that's the redemption. Not just helping Roger, but finally joining him in the act. Using laughter as resistance, as a weapon, as a legacy. So who framed Roger Rabbit? It wasn't just Judge Doom. It was the studio system, the highway commission, the real estate lobby, the culture that milks talent dry and evicts it by sundown. And what happens to Toontown? It survives, but only just. Only if we see what it was trying to say. That every gag, every pratfall, every squeaky voice was hiding a history of brilliance, of exploitation, of survival. Who Framed Roger Rabbit is one of the greatest American films ever made, not just because it blended animation and noir, but because it told the truth, right under our noses. A truth about how progress is used as a weapon, and how comedy can be defiance. Keep laughing, but don't forget who's really behind the curtain.